A man doesn't fail because of one big mistake. He fails because he allowed small compromises to go on for too long. Proverbs 6 shows everything about those compromises. Hey, how's it going? I'm Earl, and this is day 6 of the isolation phase. 30 days in Proverbs, 1 chapter a day. I'm doing this to rebuild discipline, to sharpen my discernment, and to rebuild the foundation of the faith domain. Proverbs does not give comfort. It only exposes all the weaknesses that we have through lessons. And for this, we're doing chapter 6. This chapter is all about self-destruction and the ways of self-destruction. It reveals the behaviors that weaken a man, drain his future, and ultimately self-destruction. Strictly, it addresses lazy compromises, just laziness in general, pride, rebellion, lust, and also the 7 things that God hates. Proverbs chapter 6 is not a gentle reminder. It is a full confrontation to yourself. All right, let's start chapter 6. My son, if you have become surety for your neighbor, having given your pledge for a stranger, if you snared in the utterance of your lips, caught in the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself. For you have come into your neighbor's power. Go, hasten and importune your neighbor. Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways, and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her food in summer and gathers her sustenance in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a vagabond, and want like an armed man. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes about with crooked speech, winks with eyes, scrapes with his feet, points with his finger, with perverted heart devises evil, continually sowing discord. Therefore calamity will come upon him suddenly. In a moment he will be broken beyond healing. There are 6 things which the Lord hates, 7 which are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and a man who sows discord among brothers. My son, keep your father's commandment and forsake not your mother's teaching. Bind them upon your heart always. Tie them with your neck. When you walk, they will lead you. When you lie down, they will watch over you. And when you wake, when you awake, they will talk with you. For the commandment is a lamp and a teaching a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way of life, to preserve you upon the evil woman, for the smooth tongueness of the adventurous. Do not desire her beauty in your heart. Do not let her capture you with her eyelashes. For a harlot may be hired for a loaf of bread, but an adulteress stalks a man's very life. Can a man carry fire in his bosom and his clothes not be burned? Or can one walk upon hot coals and his feet not be scorched? So is he who goes into his neighbor's wife. None who touches her will go unpunished. Do not men despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his appetite when he is hungry? And if he is caught, he will pay 7-fold. He will give all goods of his house. He who commits adultery has no sense. He who does it destroys himself. Wounds and dishonor will he get, and his disgrace will not be wiped away. For jealousy makes a man furious, and he will not spare when he takes revenge. He will accept no compensation, nor be appeased though you multiply gifts. Chapter 6 lays out a lot of things that you can put together and make a book out of. But here are 5 things that I got out of it for chapter 6. It starts off with promises and keeping them. He talks about going to your neighbor and making sure that if he asks you for something, he mentions that you definitely need to see it through. But he also warns us is that do not make promises you cannot keep. If a neighbor comes to you and you are the guarantor for that, you better see it through. But before that, make sure that you can guarantee for your friend, guarantee for that person, so you can stand by your word. So have that discernment so you can make the commitment or not. Number 2, laziness destroys your life slowly. There's an analogy that Solomon says where he says, go to the ant, oh, you sluggard. Look at the ant. Look what it does. It harvests, during the winter for the summer. It has no chief. All it does is it wakes up, it does its job, regardless of what's happening. King Solomon reminds us to be like the ant, that the only true king and the only true leader is our Lord, but understand that you must do the work every day and every night and do not be lazy. Number 3, a worthless man is a man who devises and plots. He mentions a couple of things there about the man who manipulates, a man who winks, signals, and devises plans. It's one of the 7 things that God hates, especially if he stirs turmoil amongst his brothers. Don't be that person. Do not manipulate. You can persuade, you can encourage, you can lead, but in manipulation, it's worthless. Number 4, God hates certain behaviors, specifically 7. So from what I'm getting, from what I remembered, it is proud eyes, lying, shedding innocent blood, wicked plans, feet that run to evil, false witness, and sowing discord amongst your brothers. Like, this isn't like a personality thing or like a personality quirk from the Lord. Like, these are very specific because these are happening today, no matter what timeline, what generation of the human race has been. These 7 things that the Lord himself hates is meant there for a reason, because he can see it throughout generations past his timeline. And lastly, number 5, adultery destroys a man's honor. King Solomon reminds us again about when you give into temptation, when you give into lust, when you give into adultery, you are losing your power, you're losing your reputation, you're losing respect for others and respect to yourself, and ultimately your personal authority towards yourself. Okay, this is chapter 6. I encourage for you to read chapter 6 and to move forward with it. Protect yourself, have that good discernment, and understand as you're coming into this and understanding about the Bible and understanding about the Word, and we're doing 1 chapter a day, take something out of it and reflect on your life, reflect on yourself. Like today, are you one of those 7 things that God hates? Do you bear false witness? Do you create wicked plans? Do you lie? And most of all, the one thing I hate the most too is sowing discord amongst others, like the manipulation, the person that winks, that devises plans for the wicked. Hate that. That is the equivalent of people just talking crap today, whether it be online or within your friend circle. If you want to stir something up, I always would say, just meet that person face to face, stab them in the front, not in the back. All right, that's day 6.